It's the National Football League on EA Sports, and it's a battle for bragging rights between Ohio's two teams. It's the Cleveland Browns and the Cincinnati Bengals, and it kicks off next on Madden NFL 25.
Banked by the Ohio River and the city's abundance of hills, we're at Paycor Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Thanks for joining us, everyone. With my partner, Brock Heward, I'm Kate Scott. And like so many matchups in the NFL, Brock, our focus goes right to the quarterbacks in this one. Both of these guys, players who've been around the league now for some time, they definitely established themselves as veterans who know how to win football games.
Yeah, I think the word of the day, Kate, is definitely experience. Two guys who've been through the season several times over, have seen a lot at this point in their career, and been through quite a bit on the field. All that experience is stored up there right between the ears. And the one who is more skilled at leveraging that experience, more than likely is going to come away with the win.
Dustin Hopkins out, ready to send this away. And away we go in Cincinnati. Starting from the 5. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. So here come the Bengals, ready for their opening drive. They're led out by the legend over in LSU, the former #1 overall pick in 2020, Joe Burrow.
When Joe Burrow's between the white lines, he's one of the game's best and most entertaining quarterbacks. He just has a cool factor that is the envy of so many. Nothing seems to bother them other than some injuries that unfortunately have ended seasons early. When he's on the field, timing, the anticipation, Kate, the precision with which he plays, he has very few peers.
Shoots one defender. And he's caught after a gain of about 2. From the secondary, Grant Delpit on the tackle. He gets a couple on first, and they'll come up 2nd and 8.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
From the 31. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
And now this defense is on that sack board and sets up a pretty good chance here on 3rd down. It's a little bit like blood in the water with sharks when it comes to taking sacks. You can feel it as a quarterback. Once that defense gets one, they're hungry for another.
Five men in the secondary for the Browns. 3rd down coming. Burrow from the gun. Puts his body on the line, and he got it!
That is all-out effort to make the catch. Putting his body on the line, diving for the ball. He earned that reception and some more targets in the immediate future.
The Bengals send out the punting unit. And he'll punt it away to end a disappointing opening drive. And this one is crushed. Wow, beautiful punt here. That is going to go for 60+. And this one hits first at the 3 before continuing on into the end zone for a touchback. So here come the Browns on offense, readying for their opening drive. They'll be led out by the former first-rounder back in 2017, Deshaun Watson.
After winning the national title at Clemson and early success at Houston, there's no question that Deshaun's career has been slowed by some injuries and other challenges. But when he is on the field, at every level he's ever played, he's just got a calm. And that calm comes with the trusting of talent that he has in himself. He knows how to run, he knows how to throw, and when he's available, he's still a difference maker.
Flush down out to his left. He's running with it. And he's able to get it to the 21 as he goes down.
It's one of those situations, not much to be had there no matter what he did with the ball. Even if he scraped a positive gain out of it, that's still a win and a confidence builder for this defense.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. Throwing is Watson. Into the hands of Elijah Moore. And he's going to be brought down up at the 28-yard line. 3rd and just 2 to go. Chubb going for the marker. And they're going to bring him down just beyond the 30 at the 31. This one goes for 3 yards. And that gives the Browns a first.
Okay, you know me, I can't resist. I thought we might have needed the old Gene Steratore index card down there. Making a really close measurement to see if he got the first down or not. But in the end, well, the right call was made. He got just enough to move the chains.
Watson on 1st and 10. Look, pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And a big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
All right, first sack on the board on the first drive as a defense. And now we let the chess match begin. The adjustments begin because we know pressure leads to sacks. And sacks in this league often leads to wins.
All right, here we go. 2nd down. Another try following the sack. Ooh, would have been a big gainer if they connected, but they could not. Instead, 3rd down coming up.
Well covered on that play. Really not a large window for him to sneak that throw in.
So after that prior incompletion, we've got 3rd down. From the gun, Watson. Flushed out of the pocket. He'll make a bid for it on the ground. And not much doing. He stopped quickly.
That's just a case where you're trying to make something when there really is nothing there. There just wasn't an opening for him to work with, and he was lucky to get what he could.
The Browns looking to punt on 4th down, so on comes their southpaw, Corey Bojorquez, to handle it. He sends this away, and oh, this is going to be a field flipper. Cincinnati headed back out for its 2nd drive now. They didn't start the game off like they wanted, Brock. Still searching for that opening 1st down as they take the field a 2nd time. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Brown on the inside give. No one around. He's got space. Along the right sideline, there's space. He makes it in for the Cincinnati touchdown. The Bengals go up 6-0 here in the 1st. Wow, just sensational speed from the back that time, Brock. He found a seam, got through it, and he was gone.
You know, it's one thing, Kate, to have singles hitters, right? And you love those, and you appreciate guys that can get on base. But it's the home run hitters that are the difference makers, and what a big-time effort.
Evan McPherson on to try the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Bengals will jump out to a 7-0 lead. Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. This return starts at the 5. He stopped on the return at the 27. Onto the field comes the Browns offense for the 2nd time. And they're certainly hoping for some better results here after that first drive ended in a punt. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Watson looking to throw. That's complete, David Njoku. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
A jolt to start that drive. They're up near the 45-yard line. 1st and 10. Here's Watson. On the slant, complete to Judy. And he drives this across midfield and down into enemy territory.
That's what you call efficiency. Exactly what you're looking for on 1st down. Textbook. It sets up 2nd and very manageable, and then creates that space if you want to take a shot downfield.
2nd and 3 now. Working from the gun, Watson. Able to get it to Moore. And he's going to be drugged down, looks like at that 37-yard line. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the 1st.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
Shove here on 1st down. And he's able to power this forward, but they stop him after 2 yards.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get 1st downs against the better defenses in this league.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Staying on the ground here with Chung. And he runs this one down across the 35 and inside the 30. That's going to go down as a gain of 7. Now they're going to have 3rd and 2.
So much to like about that run, Kate, particularly what he was able to get out of it. The defense, I think, feels a little fortunate they were able to track him down before an even bigger run and crossing that 1st down marker.
On 3rd down, they'll go with Chubb. And he's dropped just short of the marker, maybe a yard away.
That's one of those plays, Kate, as an offense, it just sticks with you a little bit. It bothers you that you just can't convert on a very manageable down and distance. And on the other side, well, it sure gives you some confidence defensively to get off the field.
So the Browns are going to kick the field goal on 4th down. Dustin Hopkins on for the attempt. From the right hash, about 45 yards out. Carlson's kick is good. And it's dropped back down now to a 4-point game.
A dependable kicker, man. That is a coach's best friend. Saves him so much stress to have a guy he can really trust to go out and hit it from that distance consistently. Because from that far out, no kick is a guarantee.
We've got a good one here. They've cut the lead to 4 as they send it away. Starting from the 5. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The Bengals and running back Chase Brown getting set to begin another drive here. And that front is really going to need to buckle down and provide some more opposition because he's gotten off to an excellent start here. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Straight ahead, it's Brown. And he drives that front backward on a gain of 4.
Well, I'll steal a line from one of my buddies, but I'm going to quote him. Mark Schlereth, 2-time Super Bowl winner, says if you want to run the ball, you got to keep running the ball. And that's a perfect example of it. Don't get tired. Don't get mad at gaining 4 yards. It's a run that can set up even more in the run game.
Burrow throwing out of the pistol. Gets it to his man, Mike Gesicki. And looks like we can call it about 4 yards in the end. The former first-rounder Devin Bush making the play.
He's just one of those guys, Kate. Even when he's not open, he's still a target thanks to that physicality and his ability to just play bully ball. They don't like forcing into coverage, but sometimes when you got a bully like him that can create space, you just find a way to get him the ball. Now
a shotgun handoff to Brown. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41. That one gains 7. And it'll be first down, Bengals.
Win the early battle. Get a little leverage. Low man wins off the line, and that's all that was needed to ensure that first down right there.
First and 10 from the 41. Play action now, Burrow. An alert play defensively there. He got a hand on it to tip it away, and that makes it second down.
Not an open passing lane to be found anywhere. He took what he thought was the best one available, and they still managed to tip the ball away.
So after the incompletion, here comes the second down call. Now Burrow. That's going to be cut by all. And he pushes this down to the 42 before going down. The big play nets him 17 yards. And it sets up a Cincinnati first down.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
They'll head up first and 10 from the 42. Here's Burrow. Ooh, he got hit as he was throwing, and unsurprisingly, it falls incomplete. Second down coming up.
Well, that's one you chalk up to the pressure earning that incompletion. They came in before he could find a target, hit him, altered that last-second attempt to get rid of it.
Couldn't connect on first. It's second down. To throw again, it's Burrow. Throws off the rip, but it's incomplete. Trying to get it to T. Higgins. And that's going to leave him with a tough third and long.
You know, as a QB, I'm going to note that in the back of my head. That was a heck of a break. Knocks the ball away. DBs like that, they tend to, once they get one hand on the ball, have a pretty good beat on you and can get two hands on it the next time.
On third down, here's Burrow. And like an empty wrapper, he just throws that one away.
You know, it's a point of emphasis in practice each and every week, no matter where we go. How are we going to attack the coverage on third down? Well, they chose the wrong play off that call sheet that time.
They'll bring out the punter here. James Prochet returning this for the Browns. This is away, and once again, he's caught all of it. So this one will go out of bounds, and they'll start the drive inside their own 30. The Browns getting their offense out there. And their last drive did end in points. Not as many as they wanted, though. They had to settle for that field goal despite advancing the football pretty well. They're out and set, first and 10. They'll run the draw with Chubb. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
To play running back in this league, well, you've got to have tremendous vision. We saw it twice. Once to find the lane upfield, and then to get to space and break off some extra yards.
New set of downs for him at the 38. Man in motion here. Here's Watson, first and 10. Finds him over the middle. And he's taken down directly on that 43-yard line. Give him 18 yards on that play, Brock, and it gets him a first down.
Good offenses. Okay, good play callers know how to utilize their personnel. They know where they wanted them. They wanted them on a route in space where he could make that initial play comfortably, but then go to work after.
Let's see how they attack this first down, Brock, from the 43. Watson now off play action. Bails out of the pocket quick. Now he takes it. He gets it forward for a gain of 3. B.J. Hill, the one to bring him down.
Tick, 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 tick. You know, his internal clock right there told him it was time to escape, and good thing he listened to it. He was able to make something out of nothing and at least move them forward. That'll
be the end of one in this AFC North battle. 7-3 is our score. We're back to Paycor Stadium right after this. We're ready now for the second quarter. Browns in control of it. They'll have second down as they look to continue this good drive. They give inside to Chung. And once again, he doesn't manage much before getting brought down. Just 1 yard on the play, though. That leaves him with third down and 6 to go.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
Running back, motioning right. Throwing on third down, Watson. Complete beyond the marker. And they get this down to the 28. It's a pickup of 11. And that's good for a Cleveland first down.
I'm not sure how this defense let that guy slip through him like that. On third down, nonetheless, he took that snap as an opportunity, and man, did he make an impact play.
Here's Chubb up the middle. And he'll push this upfield and earn them a new set of downs.
Yeah, you want to get above 5 yards to carry? Well, put together runs like that. And I'll tell you what else a run like that does, Kate. That sets up the play action, right? When you really just gouge and gash a defense like that, the next time you run that action, they're going to be thinking running the ball to go right over their head.
First down, and they go right back to him. And he'll bowl his way ahead for a 4-yard pickup.
You know, this is an offense that will emphasize the ground game at different points of each and every contest. And as long as they can reliably get games like this, it's not going to change anytime soon.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Again, it's Chubb. And they'll stop him after a short gain to the 13. They pick up 1 on the run. Need more, though. That takes him to 3rd and 5.
I think one thing you learn, Kate, when you transition from college to the NFL, not every run is going to be a big play. Some of them, well, they're just destined to end in a minimal gain, and some of them will set up that critical play action for later.
3rd and short, it's Watson. That's caught for the first. That's a Cleveland touchdown. It seems like a lot of the time, Brock, even if the results aren't quite as flashy every rep, tight ends are even more reliable scorers than a lot of receivers are when it comes to the passing game.
Yeah, I would agree with that, but there's also a lot more real estate for them to work with, right? Think of the receivers. They got to deal with the sidelines, that 12th defender. Many of these tight ends, they've got a ton of field to work with, and when they prove to the quarterback they could be a difference maker, he'll look for them.
On comes Dustin Hopkins to try the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Browns push their lead to 3. Hopkins has it on the tee and is ready to send it flying. This return starts at the 5. This return makes it up to the 25. The Cincinnati offense headed out now. Well, their last drive, not the one they want to replicate after they were forced to punt it away. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Burrow setting to throw. That's Gesicki. He's got it. And he'll have a small 4-yard chunk there. The former first-rounder Devin Bush making the play.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a first down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule and makes second and third down a whole lot easier to manage.
2nd and 6 coming up here. From the 29. Completed over the middle. And he's downed after getting this up to the 41. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
1st and 10 from the 41. Burrow. This finds all complete. And he's going to go down right along the midfield stripe.
That is a textbook first down completion. Sets up second and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Burrow setting up the play action. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And that pushes them back. 3rd down coming up.
In theory, Kate, that's exactly what complementary man coverage is supposed to look like. The DBs, well, they're sticky on the back end of it. The front end, that pass rush, it makes an impact that gets home. But of course we know it's not that simple. It is really tough to lock down a full field for more than a second or two.
Drive in dire straits. It's 3rd and 9. Out of the shotgun, Burrow. And they push this down to the opposing 47-yard line. Give them 11 yards, Brock, and a fresh set of downs.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your 3rd downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
Football on that 47-yard line, 1st down. They're going play action. Completes this one to Chase. And he's able to reach the 40 on that play.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on 1st down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for 2nd down. On the 3rd and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
2nd and 3 now. On the ground, Brown. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
We take a break from his regularly scheduled programming of pass coverage duties to see him adding a little contribution in the run support. And his teammates, you can just see the body language. A little nod, a little grin. They'll welcome the reinforcements every time.
Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. Looking to throw, Burrow. The Browns close in and take him down. And the defense comes through to back him up ahead of 4th down.
I know quarterbacks get paid a lot of money and a lot of glamour in this league, but today, well, this is a tough day for this QB. He's taken a beating. And whether it means changing up some of the blocking schemes, maybe mixing in a little bit of run, or heck, this quarterback getting the ball out of his hand more quickly, he's got to start protecting himself.
On now comes their punter. James Prochet on to return it. And he's certainly been staying busy. Once again, he's out to punt and sends this flying. The Browns with their offense back out there as Nick Chubb returns to the field. They'll try to emphasize what worked on their last drive, which ended, Brock, in a touchdown. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. From the gun, Watson. Finds a seam down the middle. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. It's a 30-yard play, Brock, and they've got a fresh set of downs.
You know, Kay, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position by hitting on that shot. You've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
So the ball on the midfield stripe now after that big play. It's 1st and 10. Play action. It's Watson. And that's incomplete, but I do see some laundry on the field. Let's see what this flag is all about. He was too far downfield at the time of the pass. Gotta stay within a yard of the line. That'll back him up. Working from the gun, Watson. Throw reeled in by Njoku. He's forward, gets a couple of yards. The play brought to an end by Logan Wilson.
Sometimes when you're just looking to move it forward, get some small yards on the throw, quarterback's best friend, security blanket. And when it's a big old tight end, that's an extra bonus.
Back to the line they go. It's 2nd down. Here's a counter give to Chubb. And he has this one past the 50 and will start downhill into Bengals territory. Pickup of 6, and now they've got 3rd and 7.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid game, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to. Because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
Throw on 3rd down. Flushed out of the pocket. And he's tackled for a short gain.
You know, Kate, they always say that QB clock, you know what it's more like? It's more like an alarm, especially in a situation like that, and it's a good thing you woke up to it, able to make something out of nothing and at least keep them moving forward.
The Browns are lined up to punt. And he wants to hit his second effort just as well as he hit his first. Absolutely crushed his first punt, and here's another huge one. Here come the Bengals to take over once again. They struggled to produce on that last series, but better results ahead as they take possession here. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. A give left side to Brown. And they're on him after about a 2-yard gain. Myles Garrett coming in for the stop. He gets a couple on 1st, and they'll come up 2nd and 8.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
From the 22 on 2nd down. On target to his man Higgins. And he'll go down, and we'll say right at the 39-yard line. They get 18 yards out of it and a new set of downs.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. To hit a curl route of that length, it takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
We're to the 2-minute warning from the jungle. And it's the Bengals with 1st and 10. Burrow out of the shotgun. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
And look at that. All that effort and success from the previous play, it is gone. Credit to this defense who snapped and cleared. That's part of this game. You got to snap and clear. Give up a big play, come back and make a big one for yourself. And they do, getting home with that sack.
Another try following the sack. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Well-timed strike by that defender to knock it free. So now it's going to be 3rd and long. This is a guy who's used to embracing contact, Brock. Usually makes catches in spite of it, but I guess it's tough for anybody to make a play every time.
Yeah, I think these tight ends today, Kate, spend as much time in the old ice bath as just about anybody. And when you don't make that catch and you take the contact, well, that stings like the first seconds in the ice.
Their punter making his way out now. Crochet back deep to return. And this one is away, and he got all of it and then some. Cleveland's offense all set to take over. They're getting close to a minute to play, Brock, and they're going to need that time with a long field ahead. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Out of the gun, here's Watson. Got him in, it's Njoku. And 2 yards is all he's going to get before he's caught. That was Geno Stone up there to make that play.
Well, that's a modest little drag route, but if you ever just need a safe, short gain on the throw, that's a go-to route to target.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this 2nd down. Throwing is Watson. Moore's got it. And he'll get it out to the 34 before he's tracked down. 12 yards on that play, and a good call nets him the 1st.
You know, it sure seems like he knew exactly where he was going with that before the snap. That's a pre-snap decision that led to a post-snap 1st down.
Now a timeout's called. Cleveland using its 2nd. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half. Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. Watson to throw it. Down he goes. The Bengals got to him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
That quarterback clock, it is so important to play in the position and playing it efficiently. You got to know, you got to have that clock in your head, because that's enough time in this league to get rid of the ball. That's a lesson this QB's got to learn.
So that's halftime here in this one. The Browns on the road, but currently in front. Now it's down to Florida, where Jonathan Coachman is standing by in Orlando for the EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. We'll let you and Brock catch your breath as we welcome the rest of you to our EA Sports Halftime Report. This one's been as good as advertised. Just a field goal separating these two teams. This was a very level 1st half, and I'd expect to see more of the same after the break.
All right, thank you, Coach, and we are back and about set to begin the 2nd half. Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. To return, Jerome Ford. He's got a lane up past the 30. And it's a nice return here. They'll tackle him shy of the 35. The Browns have the football first to start the 3rd, and here comes their offense. And it has been all about these defenses so far, Brock. Even into the 2nd half, we're still waiting for one of these offenses to take charge.
Yeah, what you're feeling, these defenses are making every yard tough, every 1st down tough, every series tough. And offensively, yeah, it's time to toughen up, and maybe more importantly, sharpen up.
Watson now off play action. That one complete to Njoku. He's got a gain of 6 there. Dax Hill up for the stop.
When you see play action, do all you can to get your eyes to the tight end, because that's their bread and butter. That play action gives him time off the line, helps chip a rusher, or even helps sell that fake. And then when he releases, he gets out, he gets some leverage. He gets to that edge before the defender can cover him.
Here's Chubb on 2nd down. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
Most of the people watching will forget about that play in a couple minutes. but the coaches won't forget. He has that filed away the next time he really needs to pick up a few yards.
Football on that 47-yard line, first down. They'll run. This is Chubb. And they try to power it forward, but only a couple of yards there.
I think we got to be careful, and I'll raise my hand of thinking that play was just a nothing burger. Because what can happen from that, Kate, is he put some nice toppings on it. A play-action pass, a shot that comes down the road from what looked like a very plain play.
8 yards to go. Let's see how they approach this second down. Running right with Chubb. And a bit of deja vu as they stop him at the line once again.
Made it all look so simple, didn't he? That linebacker sorting right through the traffic, finding the runner. That's instincts come to life.
It's 3rd and 8. Need to get a chunk here. Here's Jerome Ford for the first time this game. And he's caught behind the line for a loss.
Traps, screens, draws, you need the element of surprise. The problem is, this defense was all over that draw. You couldn't fool them, even if you wanted to.
The Browns are lining up to punt. It'll be Corey Bajorquez doing the honors. He's been hitting it well so far. This is another big one. So this one flies out. No return from him. And they're putting the ball right at the 40-yard line. The Bengals returning their offense and this running back to the field. They get that big old marker out. Cross a major number off his roadmap after that last drive. He's reached one of the marks that every back strives to hit at some point during the season. Good starting field position awaits the Bengals as they get set for 1st and 10. Play action now. Burrow. He throws a bullet to the center. He's got it inside the 25. And he flips the field for them before being taken down.
I try to remind you a time or two, Kate, that you always got to start your read from the secondary forward. You got to see what the safeties are doing. If you're going to throw a ball in the middle third, deep downfield like that, you have to have tremendous awareness of where those safeties were, and the QB just nailed it.
4 downs now to get in. Here's 1st and goal. Brown will not get past the line. He's held up at the 4.
I talked to a bunch of different GMs, Kate, especially around draft time, and they all say the same thing. Linebackers are so hard to find. It's hard to transition from the college game that's in so much space to this game where you've got to play in a phone booth, yet have that explosiveness to chase a play on the outside down like that linebacker just did.
Burrow throwing out of the pistol. Escapes the pocket, and he carries it in for the touchdown. The Bengals grab the lead on their first series of the half. Joe Burrow with the touchdown. Wow, great work there by the quarterback. The play broke down, didn't really have much of a choice other than to escape and improvise, and in the end brought the best call he could have made.
Yeah, and you can do it in different ways in today's NFL, right? The Tom Brady's just recently retired. He did it with his brain. He did it with his mind, but you've got to be able to improvise, as you said. You got to be able to create when a play breaks down, and when you can put 6 on the board, man, does that infuse your offensive group with confidence.
Extra point added on by McPherson. And the Bengals take a 4-point lead. Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. Fielded at the 7. Good looking return here, and he's got room. And they'll start this drive in good position, a little shy of the 40. Back out now comes the Browns offense. And they'll try for better results this time around, Brock, after they had to punt it away last time out. The Browns, nice field position here as they start out 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Chubb. And this is a nice gain that stopped at the 47. Good rip on 1st down. That brings up 2nd and 2.
Well, that doesn't net a 1st down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. They've got a man in motion. From the 47. Well, very quick throw, but they couldn't connect. Tried getting it to Jerry Jeudy. And now it's 3rd and short.
I think we're starting to get a feel, aren't we, of why they like him so much in coverage. He reacts well to throws, is super adept at breaking up passes through contact, or like that one before they could ever reach the target.
Throwing now, 3rd and 2. And he just gets rid of this one, but unfortunately, that means 4th down coming up.
You know, it's fascinating how those routes you run so many times in practice become a whole lot more difficult in the actual game. That was an important 3rd and short to convert. Very surprised to see that play fail.
They're out now, ready to punt it. And he's got this fair catch right along the 12-yard line. That punt goes unanswered. No return there. And it'll be Bengals football. Cincinnati just about set for its next offensive possession. And I think they'd be content doing everything the same as their prior drive and getting another touchdown here. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Run with Brown. And he found some running room for a nice gain. Good run, gets him 7. That brings up 2nd and 3.
That does not show up on any explosive stat sheet, but let me tell you, Kate, that's the real deal right there. You run for that kind of yardage consistently in the NFL, you do set yourself up for success.
Second and 3. On the quick slant here, it's Higgins. And he's going to get this up to the 26 before being taken down. They get 6 and a 1st down as well.
Good luck defending that short yardage slant. Just not going to happen. There's a reason this is a go-to play for just about any quarterback in every situation.
All right, I'll set up now. 1st and 10. Brown on the inside give. And this defense offering no room at all up the gut there. No gain from the secondary. Grant Delpit on the tackle. Call it no gain on that run, and they face 2nd and 10.
So close to a big loss of yards for those guys up front. 1 second sooner, and they got to tackle behind the line. But a stop to celebrate nonetheless.
2nd and 10 now. That's going to be cut by all. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a 1st down.
New set of downs for him at the 38. On 1st down, here's Burrow. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. It arrived as the ball did to break things up. And now they face 2nd down. Working across the middle, Brock, it is tough for anybody to make plays through all that mess, even when you're the biggest and baddest pass catcher on the roster.
But as a tight end, you're going to be disappointed because that's what you're paid to do. It's one thing for those undersized receivers you talked about. It's another one for these big tight ends. You are paid to make that catch through contact, and he couldn't do it.
There's 5 on that play. They need 5 more now on 3rd down.
Okay, this is why coaches across all levels of football harp on the importance of good, fundamental tackling, not just to hear themselves talk. It's to make sure that when one of their guys has a chance to bring down a running back, they're able to do it and keep those plays from going any further.
Third and short, it's Burrow. That's caught for the first. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. 35 on the pickup. And it'll be first down, Bengals.
I can guarantee you that's going to be in Tell the Truth Monday right there in the film room, front and center, showing you the importance of tackling in the open field. An opportunity to cut him down sooner, but the broken tackle allowed him to add those extra yards to the catch.
Now they'll hit the line just outside the red zone following that big play. First and 10 now. Here's Burrow. Cut near the goal line. Touchdown, Cincinnati. Well, in a close game, they needed somebody to make that type of play. Now it pushes their lead to a couple of scores and makes a comeback that much more difficult.
You know, Kate, their offense did its part and padded the lead. Now it's up to this defense to make this two-score lead hold up and carry it across the finish line.
McPherson at the point after. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Bengals drive their lead to 11. Here's McPherson on to handle the kickoff. Here's Ford on the return. And in the end, Brock, an exciting touchback as the return comes out to the 30. Now we see the Browns offense headed out. And I'm sure they're tired of bringing out the punter, Brock. They're hopefully going to give him some rest this time around and find some points to go after that lead. First and 10 now from the 30. Here's Watson. Connects on the crosser. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. How about 29 yards on that play, partner, as they get the chains reset?
You know, Kate, you'll find teams go to this crossing route concept sometimes a dozen times a game. And a lot of times it's for shorter yardage, but sometimes things break in the right coverage for a much bigger impact play, just like that.
One play in, and this drive is already into enemy territory. First and 10, here's Watson. Finding Judy. And he's taken down at the 30. They come through with a nice gain there. Gain of 10, first down.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only one? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
Shove here on first down. And they'll bundle this up after a 4-yard gain. Mike Hilton getting up there for the tackle. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 6.
He'll expect more from himself on those type of plays, but there is nobody that's going to complain about that one. If you can do math, 4 plus 4 plus 4 equals a first down.
From the gun, Watson. Makes the connection. Here's Jerome Ford. And he's going to be stopped at the 17-yard line. It's a pickup of 9 yards. And that gives the Browns a first.
I call this quarterback's best friend. Some call it a safety valve, some call it automatic, but it's sure nice as a quarterback when you got a trusty running back over the middle of the field that you could depend on.
Here's Watson, first and 10. Has him on the quick hitter. And he's short of the first after a mild gain.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on first down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
Halfway to the marker. It's 2nd and 5. Working from the gun, Watson. This throw is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. All right, so the offense does its job, Brock. Now they need their defense to give them a chance to overcome that big deficit.
The momentum in the building's clearly changed. We can feel it here in the booth, but you're right. It's now up to the defense to make a stop and give them a chance.
The Browns keeping the offense out on the football field. They want 2 here. Sticking to the air with Watson. And they get the 2-point conversion. Nice catch in the end zone there. They're back within a field goal now. Well, he just caught them the touchdown, Brock. Defense obviously aware of him as they line up for 2. How did they lose him? How did they get it right back to him for the conversion?
Because he's that good. In moments like this, Kate, it's not even about the play, it's about the player. And when you got a player of this caliber, you find every way to get it to him. And just because he scored the touchdown doesn't mean you don't go right back to that well. I love it.
Ball is set up, and it's away. Just a 3-point game now. Returning it from the 4. In pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. The Bengals and Joe Burrow all set to take over. And like we've seen from him before, Brock, he got a good game going early through the air and kept the pressure up from then on. He's still taking it to him now as we work through this second half. Offense ready to begin this drive. 1st and 10. Burrow from the gun. He's on the move. Trying to get away from the pressure, but he can't, and they drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
Never ever a great look when your quarterback's picking himself up a few seconds into a drive. They're going to need a lot more fight on 2nd down and a whole lot of yardage to get this back on track.
Offense to the line for 2nd down. Now it's Brown. They're working a couple of yards past the line. Greg Newsome bringing that play to an end. Couple yards there on 2nd down, and now a long ways to go on 3rd.
Yeah, that defense was flying to the ball. You see that outside toss. This is a pursuit drill that they work on over and over again. Get to that toss before it can really get started.
We'll see what they come up with for 3rd down in just a bit. We've reached the end of 3. The Bengals with it. They've got the lead, but this game is close. Gotta figure out this 3rd down here. Burrow out of the shotgun. Escapes the pocket. He'll make a bid for it on the ground. And he slides down with enough to pick up that 1st. Well, most drives should end right there, but they beat the defense and convert on 3rd and 17.
You know, Kate, back in the day, we had a slip and slide at practice for moments just like that. Actually practicing how to slide and get out of harm's way. Nice gain on the play and denied that defense yet another chance to take a shot on him.
Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. Straight ahead, it's Brown. And he has enough room to gain about 4.
They'll come away happy getting that type of output on most run plays. It's a sign, well, they're getting some good push up front, and this running back is seeing the lanes and paying them off.
2nd and 6 coming up here. Here's Brown again. And he's held up short of midfield after a small gain. Just 1 yard on the play, though. That leaves him with 3rd down and 6 to go. Out of the shotgun, Burrow. This one is hit by a defender and winds up incomplete.
And these pass rushers in the game today, they are so doggone good. Not only are they good at getting home and sacking the quarterback, look at this. He was fighting the blocker. He kept his eyes on the ball, times it perfectly, and he forces a pass breakup.
The Bengals send out the punting unit. And this is going to be his 4th effort tonight. Kick is away, and this one might bring rain. Wow, what a kick. The Browns send quarterback Deshaun Watson gearing up for their next series. And this is some quality film review right here. Look at this. Couple of touchdowns, good amount of yards, too. He's been moving them down the field like only he can, putting together quite the game for himself in the process. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. And off to Chubb to start the drive. And this one does not go far. Just a gain of 1, and that brings up 2nd and 9.
Okay, this is why you got to be careful to just run it always on 1st down. You got to break your tendencies. The casual fan, well, that casual fan knew what was coming, but more importantly, this defensive front did too.
They'll come to the line here, 2nd and 9. They send a man in motion. Watson. Defender arrives right as the ball does, and the hit knocks it free. Incomplete. David Njoku, the guy he was looking for. And things look tougher now with 3rd and long.
Oh, that drop is such a bummer because it ruins the payoff of such a well-designed play, Kate. Got the man open, beat the coverage, but then you got to go finish it. You got to go make that catch. I will say, keep that one in mind. They can revisit that play in the future.
Got a man, it's Njoku. And he's up to the 35-yard line as they reel him in. It's a gain of 19 on the play. And that's good for a Cleveland 1st down.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of 3rd downs just like that.
They're set up at the 35 now. Watson on 1st and 10. An alert play defensively there. He got a hand on it to tip it away, and that makes it 2nd down.
I think we're seeing why this defense likes him in coverage. He reacts so well to throws and is even more adept in breaking up those passes.
No dice on that prior pass. Here's 2nd down. This is Chubb. And the hit stops him cold. Wow, he maybe got back to the line. No gain on the play, and they still need 10 now on 3rd down.
Not every corner in this league can make the play he just made right there. Sure, there's pure coverage guys. Not really known for their tackling, but this guy, well, he's someone who isn't afraid to stick his nose in there and make a stop.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. He puts some air under a deep throw to the left. He had it for a moment, but a great defensive play to jar it loose. Incomplete. Tough one to retain through that hit. And now they're staring at 4th and long.
Defender's not going to be thrilled the catch was almost made on his watch, but more importantly, he breaks it up. Gives him a chance to do a little jawing after the play. Lets the other guy know he roughed him up and cost him that catch.
4th down, and on comes the punt team, and the kick's away. The home team's back out on offense. Their running back headed out once again. They didn't add to their lead last time out. They punted it away, but still ahead and able to add to it here. the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Now a shotgun handoff to Brown. And they beat him to the edge. That run stopped back at the line. No progress on 1st down, and that'll bring up 2nd and 10.
Where one defender failed, well, his buddy was there to swarm to the ball and make that play just as it gets to the line of scrimmage.
2nd and 10, need to get some positive yardage here. They'll run again with Brown. And he'll find the space he needs to get this up to the 25-yard line. There's 5 on that play. They need 5 more now on 3rd down.
The humble 5 to 6 yard gain on the ground. Not a huge gain, not a game-changing play by any means, but one that keeps you on schedule and takes some of the starch out of that front 7.
3rd down from the gun. That heater is going to fall to the turf.
I think if you look up in phase in the defensive encyclopedia, that is a picture-perfect form of it. He was all over him in coverage, really forcing the incompletion.
Punting unit out now. And this will mark his 5th kick of the night. He sends this away, and oh, this is going to be a field flipper. He has it at the 22. And a nice return out of him. They have it a little further up, past their own 30. That one scored as a massive 67-yard effort. And the Browns will go on offense. It's a new set of downs for him at the 32. Watson with a blitz coming. He's on the move. He tucks it and takes off. And he's brought down after a nice gain and a 1st down.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
Let's see how they attack this 1st down, Brock, from the 43. They'll run the draw with Chubb. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
Offensive coordinators tell us all the time, big runs only happen with coordinated efforts. Great blocking to spring them. Guys hitting blocks downfield and a back who can show off his wheels.
Let's see how they attack this 1st down, Brock, from the 43. Again, it's Chubb. And with a nice gain, he runs him down inside of field goal range. Call it 9 yards. Looks like a first for a moment. It's 2nd and 1.
Kate, I know you can see that smile on my face as we stand next to each other. Sure, I love that run. But I'm thinking about some great running backs. In fact, Corey Dillon, who created a lot of negative grades on my play sheet because I didn't want to carry out no fake. I wanted to watch the damage he could do like we just saw.
And they bring him down after the play reaches the 26. 8 yards on the gain, and the drive continues forward.
Nice to see that connection, that chemistry working between the two of them.
To the line we go. They're set, 1st and 10. Play action, it's Watson. Why not go back to it again if it's working? Complete.
There's no negatives ever on a grade sheet for a completion, but that's one of those situations. If you're going to take a risk and throw an out route, you'd sure like to see a little bit more yardage gained.
2nd down now, 7 to go. Out of the gun, here's Watson. Judy there to grab it. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
It sure seemed like he knew exactly where he was going with that right off the snap.
Still on the move, coming to the line for 1st and 10. From the red zone now. Connection made to Judy. And he's got a decent gain before being brought down.
Kate, if there was one throw in the game plan that kept me up at night more than any other, it was an out route versus zone coverage. Because you got to throw with anticipation, but you also got to make sure those defenders' eyes aren't reading you like a book.
Watson working in the pistol. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. You go middle of the field against zone coverage, Brock. You know this firsthand. You are throwing into rush hour, and there aren't a lot of easy completions to be found in that part of the field.
Yeah, and a lot of those throws, Kate, you're signing your guy up to take some sort of hit. It's on you to protect your guys. Credit that defense for flying around and making the play.
3rd and short. It's Watson. Forced it. Oh, he was on the move, but so is the defense, and they take him down. And the defense comes through. That's going to back him up and bring up 4th down.
Final quarter, this quarterback's just feeling the need to do a little extra, try to make something happen outside the pocket. The problem, defense wouldn't let them. They have that same kind of urgency. They want to make some plays of their own before they hit the showers, and they got one right there with that sack.
Here's an important kick now for Dustin Hopkins. This 32 yards out on the right hash. Flying down the heart of the lane, and it's good! And in the 4th quarter, that's going to tie the game.
Inspiring a bunch of confidence in himself right there, Kate. 2nd time they brought him out for a field goal, and 2nd time, well, he's knocked it right through. Trust is earned in a number of different ways on the field, but that's the best way to gain it as a kicker.
Hopkins has it on the tee, and he's ready to send it flying. Starting from the 5. He's stopped on the return at the 27. So now here comes the Bengals on offense. They were only on the field for 3 plays their prior series, Brock. Let's see what changes they make to take over here. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. Looking to throw, Burrow. And oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. Denzel Ward makes the play. And the Browns will take over with the football just outside the 30. He got in front of that one for the pick. Looked like that's the receiver it was designed to go to on that play, too.
Yeah, the QB just must have missed the lurky defender in coverage right there. That's where, as a QB, you've got to have the vision to not just see your route, but see those defenders in front of it. If you stare down your receivers in this league, turnovers follow.
The Cleveland offense back out and getting set for the drive. And they settled for a field goal on their last series, so points are a positive, but they'll look to upgrade to a touchdown here. Here's 1st and 10 from the 34. Here's Watson to the air. Moore's got it. And he's tackled after gaining a handful.
You know what I love to say? You never go broke taking a profit, and you often gain profits when you use your eyes as a quarterback. Those hitch routes, those underneath throws, oftentimes it's the eyes of the quarterback looking downfield and then taking that short completion.
Putting a receiver in motion. 2nd and 4. He's got it to him yet again, and that one is caught. And he's tackled with the 1st down yardage.
There's no question the greatest concern there was just getting the 1st down. You want a high percentage throw, and you're not really concerned about big yards. Well, the drag route was perfect. He comes open in the short field. It's easy to zip that throw right in there and reset those chains.
1st and 10. Here's Watson. That's caught at the 4. And he goes down, so they're set up with a nice 1st and goal as we've reached our 2-minute warning. Chubb has the Cleveland touchdown. The Browns have taken the lead late. It's a Nick Chubb touchdown. So how about the determination there? This game has been as hard-fought as you will see. But they grab hold of the lead here with a late touchdown that may just win them the ball game.
You could almost feel them saying, Kate, we don't want overtime. Let's go out and get it done now. They accomplished their goal, but you do have to ask the question, do they leave too much time on the clock? Stay tuned.
That one right down the middle. And the Browns break that tie and now lead by 7. Hopkins has it on the tee and is ready to send it flying. Here's a return from the 7. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. Out comes the offense for the Bengals. And this game might be going better if he could have some more time just to work back there. This pass rush has been all over them. Really keeps taking this offense out of any grooves that they've managed to get into.
Okay, I like to say in life there's energy givers and there's energy vampires.
Yeah.
And for this defense, these sacks right here, they're such energy givers. And, man, it's like a vampire sucking the juice out of an offense.
Yeah, I love that. They're out and set, 1st and 10. Here he is to throw. That's Gesicki. He's got it. And he's going to be brought down at the 42. We get a timeout now from the Bengals. That's going to be their first. And they can take a moment to try to build more momentum after getting that first. Setting up to pass. Catch made by Chase Brown. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. It's a gain of 21 yards to pick up that first down.
Speaks to this guy's talent as just an all-around difference maker, playmaker. We see him line up as a receiver, and we don't even bat an eye, Kate, and we don't really bat an eye when he makes that kind of play either. This guy's just different, built for the moment.
Bengals have to move here. Clock's running as they hustle to the line. He'll look to throw it. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain.
These intermediate gains, that's the wheelhouse for these two to connect on. Start the series off well, and it sure keeps the defense on its toes in case they try to load up and just simply cover the receivers.
Bengals have to move here. Clock's running as they hustle to the line. Back to throw. Got him in. It's Gesicki. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. Cincinnati uses its second timeout. Still one more in their pocket to use. To the line for a new set of downs. Only a lone timeout at their disposal. To throw again, it's Burrow. Splits a couple of defenders and completes it. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. They pick up 20 yards there. And that will set up 1st and goal.
I love throwing on first down. And when you see a first down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you plan for, and you go out and execute.
Working inside the red zone. And they pull it off. A touchdown catch in the final moments. And now overtime or a win right here are on the table. So they punch it in for 6, Brock, and now a conversion away from tying this game back up.
This one just has the feel, doesn't it? The makings of a one-score game in the fourth quarter that could go either way.
The Bengals getting ready for a big 2-point try late. He's throwing for it! Getting out to his left. And he's brought down real close to that goal line at the 1. Well, we, of course, have the benefit of hindsight up here, but risking the game on a 2-point play, not looking preferable at this moment to just taking the point after in time.
This is why the coaches get paid what they get paid. If you make it, you're brilliant, you're brave, you're a risk taker. But if you fail, you're reckless and careless. I'll say this too, Kate. Now you're going to have to talk to your defense. Because what you've just told your defense is we didn't trust this game to go to overtime. We wanted to win it with our offense, and they didn't get the job done.
So with hardly any game left, they have time for this kick and maybe a couple plays. And the Browns are on that one, so that should just about do it here. And he's down. Looks like they made the stop at the 46-yard line. Into the victory formation they go, Brock, here on first down. Browns just kneeling out the clock in this victory now. Now with 8 seconds remaining in the game, they're going to burn their final timeout. A kneel down here, and they can start to celebrate this win. This is why it's called a victory formation. He takes a knee and the seconds tick away towards a win.
Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
So the Browns will take this win home with them. This is the type of game everyone was hoping they'd see when they entered this stadium, Brock, you and I included. A close one that went all the way down to the final whistle.
And, Kate, this is one of the bigger adjustments a college player has to make to the NFL. In college, you get a lot of blowouts. The NFL, every game you get calloused because you know more often than not they'll be like this, a one-possession game that's not about how you start. It's all about how you finish.